Do you know that you are destined to share your transformational work? And do you know that you are destined to share it with your soul clients, right? Your soul level clients, the ones that you are contracted to work together. Problem is, you have no idea how to stand out and make yourself seen by your soul level clients without chasing and hustling. Now, if that is you, hi, I'm Sue Chen Lo, and I'm here to be able to deliver some solutions and some great news for you. So don't fear, don't panic. I'm right here to be able to offer you some great insights so that you can be able to have some light at the end of the tunnel. So thank you for joining me. Today is part 2 training of the Receive Money Like a Queen, where we help you to quantum X your offer, your clients, and your money. So you may have already tuned into the part 1 of the training. If you haven't, I think it's important that you go back to listen to that particular training because it will make sense, this second piece and the third piece that is coming up. So you are here because you signed up for my Wealth Ignite portal, and this portal includes the channeled book, the illustrated book that allows you to step into your own unique portal, hear what your divine intelligence has to say to you, grounded in the workbook that accompanies that. And certainly this 3-part training helps you to go deeper into each of these elements that are absolutely critical for you to be able to grow your business to consistent 10K months without the struggle, without the people pleasing or having to prove yourself, so that finally you can own your unique creative power and be in sovereign leadership of your life, your income, and your destiny. So, as a creative power business alchemist and sovereign leadership catalyst, I've been doing this a long time, 3 decades now. And I get how frustrating it is to try to stand out. And you're thinking, how do I stand out? How do I make people pay attention to what I am doing? Where there is, you've got influencers coming left, right, and center. They've got millions of followers, and you're thinking, wow, how do I even get those followers? Maybe if I had those followers, then maybe life would be different, my business would be different. But then when you have the wrong clients coming in and not your soul level clients, I totally get that it's very hard not to fall into that whole chasing and hustling energy, because you're thinking, it's not working, what can I do? So let me ask you a question though. How would you feel if you are finally the go-to expert that your soul clients know they need and want without you chasing or hustling them? How would you feel? Like, I'd love for you to tune into your heart, or whether it may be your gut, to tune into that center and ask yourself if that was truly your reality now. You are the go-to expert. Your soul clients know you are that. They want you, they need what you have, and you haven't done any chasing or any hustling for it. Like, how would that feel? Peace, right? How about peace to say, oh, finally, I have arrived at this thing that I've been trying to create or trying to achieve. And certainly, what about powerful, right? The powerful place to know that you don't need to be like everybody else, chasing and hustling, and yet you are the go-to expert, and yet your clients, your soul level clients, recognize you and they're saying, I need you and I want what you have. I mean, yes, suddenly power, and definitely a fair level, a high level of peace. And that's certainly how I felt, and that's certainly what my clients have felt when they work with me. So this is the kind of work that I love to do. This is the next step where I like to share with you the truth of this topic of how to quantum X your clients. The misconception out there is that people think that because they want their clients to know them or recognize and pay attention, that they've got to work harder and work longer. That's just the default. They're thinking, well, maybe I haven't tried enough things. I have my funnel's too simple. I need to have more steps. I'm not selling hard enough. I'm not pushing hard enough, and they're doing everything. Maybe I'm not doing everything. So they're, again, doing more, falling into the grind and thinking if I'm working hard, it must be right. So I'm here to share with you that it's not about being everywhere, and it's not about being all on the social platforms, and it's not about trying every single business strategy out there and then killing yourself with how complicated your business turns out to be. It is that you need to establish yourself as the go-to experts that your clients need and want. All right, so it's not about being everywhere. It's about being the go-to expert. And a very important part is without the chasing and the hustling. So if this is your first time catching me, my name is Sue Chen Low. I am a creative power business alchemist and sovereign leadership catalyst. Now, I came into this line of work because I am a creative. I'm a fashion designer in my first previous career. And then when I tried to sell my creative work and trying to make money from my magical work, and I did make the money, except the business owner or the retailer who received the sales ran off with my money. And that's when I realized, oh, okay, I'm great at the creative, but certainly maybe I'm not that great at the business side. If I were, maybe, the retailer, I wouldn't have allowed the retailer to run off with the rewards of my hard work. So that was when I decided, or I was called to enroll myself in a marketing course, yes, at a technical college, to be able to start to understand all about business. Mind you, that was certainly a hard pill to take, because as a creative, I thought that business was the last thing that I was going to delve into. And if I went on the creative path, I would never have to run a business ever again. Funnily enough, though, I grew up in a business environment. My mom is an entrepreneur. And so, from young, I visited her at her shop after school. I was doing odd jobs. So definitely entrepreneurship is in my environment, and I think certainly in my blood too. I tried to run away from it, but as my destiny would have it, no, I couldn't run away from it. So from there, then I enrolled in an MBA. Who would have thought? A fashion designer who actually went all the other side to business, right? The money, the finance, the accounting, and marketing, and really taught myself, or well, through the university degree, how to really learn the ins and outs of making any creative endeavor or any business work. And so I am definitely a unique coach where I know how you feel about being a creative person trying to make it work with business. So I have definitely bridged the creative and the business side. And on top of that, I have also bridged the spiritual side, because I'm clairaudient and definitely connected to my divine intelligence. And I hear, I get downloads 24/7. It's like my satellite is always on. And I receive information for myself through my methodologies, through helping with my clients, and certainly when I'm working with my clients, I also download messages that divine wants them to know as well. So my work bridges the creative, the financial, and the spiritual worlds. That's why I totally get how hard it is. And in a way, I'm also sharing it with you that it's so normal that you're finding this challenging, because there's so many facets to our creative, magical purpose work that needs all these elements to come into play. So I want to share with you some key solutions or some key insights into how to QuantumX your offer, your clients. And it's definitely not to work harder or longer, because I'm all about the simple, the easy, and the joyful way of going about things. So the first piece is that instead of trying to prove to everybody buy my stuff, it is to be in the energy of the go-to expert. Because a go-to expert doesn't have to run around and tell everybody that. They're just being that, right? And when you're a go-to expert, everything is working, right? You're not trying to hustle, you're not trying to chase. You don't need to because you already are that. So the first piece is because when you're trying to be everywhere, it's a sign. It's you're sending out this message to the universe that I'm not enough. That's why I've got to be everywhere. I've got to be posting on social media 24/7. I've got to have a complicated funnel because I've got to cover all bases because it's all screaming, I'm not there yet. So the solution to that is obviously counter to it is to be the person who is already there. And the person who is already there is the go-to expert, the expert who knows what they're talking about, the expert that everybody goes to for that unique thing. And this is what I mentioned in part 1 training, where your offer needs to be the unique you. Unique meaning there's only one of you. So if your offer is truly unique, which means incorporating all the parts that you're hiding or perhaps afraid to share, because that truly makes you unique. And those unique parts are probably the parts that other people have judged us for and minimized and criticized us for. Those are the parts that truly need to be in your offer. Once you have a unique offer, then it already sets you up that you've got something that nobody has. So you are having that industry of one where there's no competition. You are the leader and you will remain so as long as you remain that unique entity. Now, once you're that unique entity, you are already that go-to expert because you are the expert of you. Nobody can know better than who you are. So when you are that go-to expert, because you are that, there's only one of you, If there's only one of you, the chasing and the hustling in a way falls away. It's when you are trying to be like everybody else, that's when the busy work starts. I mean, it's simple, it's easy because there's only one of you. So but the key is obviously how do people recognize that you are that? So the first piece is to be in the energy of that go-to expert, right? Instead of, I guess, trying to prove that come buy from me, you need me. Being that go-to expert pretty much already emanates that energy that I'm already there. And so when you're in that energy of, oh, I'm already there, all the lack, the not enoughness, the learning to prove and validate all falls away. And so now your vortex or the message that you send out is very clear. It's no longer noise, because before, if you were hustling and chasing, your vibration or your vortex is very noisy. So it's almost like you are noise and the noise out there is noise. So noise and noise, obviously, you blend into the background. But when you are the go-to expert, you are clear, because you are clear on, this is me. There's only one of me. I know there's only one of me because I've been trying all to hide the parts that make me truly unique. Now that you embody those unique pieces that you might have downloaded from Divine Guidance, from part 1 training, now it's to own that as the go-to expert, the expert of who you are and the expert of the magical transformational work that you do. So that is the first solution. The second solution is, instead of, I should just go, right? It's this energy of go for it. And if I'm not going for it, maybe I don't want it hard enough. I'm too lazy. I'm too laid back. All those labels that other people brand you for because you're not out there running around like a crazy person, right? The energy instead, the solution is to say, what is it that I want to do? What is the business or the work that I want to do, right? Instead of thinking that I should go for it, which is a very pushing energy, the energy needs to be of the receiving energy. The energy to say, well, now that I'm the go-to expert, so if you tune into that as the go-to expert, there are actually many things you don't need to do, right? Because when you're in the chasing, the proving, the hustling, you feel like you need to be everything to everybody. But when you're the go-to expert, you're already there, you are there. So if you're in that place of already there, then it falls away. It shows up very clearly what else would you like to do or want to do or get to do, right? You don't have to do. It's not because you are fighting for survival. There's nothing you need to do because you're already the go-to expert. So if you're the go-to expert, now you have space for your creative power or your intuition to speak to you, to say, I'm really excited about sending out that marketing, and that piece of marketing, I really want to speak to XYZ. Now, are you able to be in the energy of this creation? And because it's in the energy of, well, I'm already the go-to expert. I don't have to hustle and do all sort of 1,000 things or 10 million things like everybody else. I get to do what I truly want to do, which is, again, coming from your heart and what your soul wants, which is being of service to whatever this divine work that you are here to do. When you are in that service, again, that means that you are roaring through the noise, and now you roar through the noise as a go-to expert, because you're doing pretty much everything that nobody else is doing. You're doing something against the grain, and that's really how you get to be different or unique, right? This is how people will pay attention to you, because everybody's going left and you've decided to either go right or even stand still, right? So your uniqueness is so clear and free of noise that pretty much sends out that your clients will find you from that energy alone. And the third piece is, instead of selling what you're supposed to sell to make money, right? Because this is, again, what everybody thinks. If I want to quantum X my clients, I need to sell what everybody is buying already, or in the traditional economics, supply and demand methodology or business methodology, people always say you want to sell what people want. Yes, and sort of, right? Yes, in the sense that you want to know, what do your clients truly need and want, not what everybody else says they need and want. There's a big difference there. With all the noise and the competition, when you look on social media, when you go on the internet, it's really a challenge to not get sucked in by what everybody else says you should be doing. That's a big difference between listening out to what your clients need and want. So again, when you are the go-to expert, as I said, the first solution is to be the go-to expert, and then you clear out all the million things that you don't have to do, and you narrow into what your heart and your soul calls you to do. Then will you be able to hear and say, well, based on the clients that I'm already serving or people who are resonating with me, what is it that they need and want? So when you are in that energy of what they really need and want, then you ask yourself, well, am I offering that? Right? So it comes back to our first training where we're talking about that offer. So is your offer truly unique? Because like I said, your magical purpose work has soul client inherent in it, right? If we want to apply the idea of supply and demand, the universe is so intelligent that there is no way that they would say to you, Michelle, go create this amazing work and have nobody buy it, right? So clearly there is a demand for it. The demand, it just doesn't come in the form of how everybody else says you should, but the demand will come to you when you are tuning into your heart and your soul, to asking yourself, what is it that my clients truly need and want? And just a hint, what they want is what you are uniquely offering. So if you're being the go-to expert of the unique you, pretty much is already giving you a very big clue as to what they need and want, right? And then if you offer that, then there you go. You are the go-to expert, and they know that, yes, you are the person offering what I want. And then you don't need to chase them. You don't need to hustle. You just sit back. Obviously, you have to do practical steps in your business to connect that energy of being the go-to expert in the practical sense. There's always practical steps to be taken. But the large part of that work, the hard work, right, is coming in from our energy, or what I like to call your power trinity, because your vortex and your energy is speaking on your behalf. Now that is infinitely more powerful, quantum X level, transcending beyond this noise of the physical dimension. Now that is the kind of thing that will really have impact for your soul level clients to pay attention to what you have to say and what you have to offer. So in summary, the key points of the three key solutions to be able to quantum X your clients is, the first of all, be in the energy of the go-to expert. Be the expert of you, the unique you, because when you are that, everybody else falls away and you are just this bright light, this beacon that just stands alone, and your clients can see clearly, and you are roaring through that noise with your unique offer. The second piece is not about the pushing, but more about, well, if I don't need to do anything now that I'm going to expert, what is it that I want to do? What is it that my soul and my heart calls me to do? And, those aligned actions will most likely be many things on the practical business level to take action. But now these actions will be joyful, they will be powerful, and they will speak to your soul level clients, and you will magnetize them to you. And the third piece is all about not selling what everybody thinks you should sell, but selling what your clients are calling you out for, right? They are calling to you. And so, as I said, the hint is that if you are being your unique you and you are offering that, chances are what they need and want is exactly what makes you unique. So those are the pieces. Now, the next step, as part of, grounding your learning and your understanding of what I've shared with you, is to now go back to Lizzie May the Immortal, which is your portal of going through, seeing what you can download from your divine intelligence. Again, meditate before you go through the portal, if that helps you to center and really tune into your guidance, whatever method that you use to tune into that space. Now go through the book again, this time asking the universe or source or your reticular activation system to send you messages for what do my clients need and want that I am an expert at? What do my clients need and want from me that I am an expert at? Right? So you can, it's up to you how you want to formulate the question in any particular way, but we want to be very clear and specific to ask the universe, to intelligence, to divine intelligence, to send to you specifically this as you're reading the book, because the book is your portal to access that, so that you can download those pieces and then write them into the workbook. The workbook, once again, this part 2 workbook has leading questions to guide you to be able to cement and write down these gems and nuggets so that you can actually do something with them after they are grounded. And then, as usual, the third piece is that if you are blown away by what you have grounded in your workbook and what you've received, you are not sure if you are able to celebrate and share with somebody, then I'm so happy to be that person if you would love to share those insights with me and celebrate it with you. And if you're a fast action taker, which I know many of you are, and you're eager to get started once you see how invaluable these nuggets are and you want to take action to do something with it, then at the end of workbook number 2, you will also have the information on how to schedule a Power Trinity strategy alignment session with me. So in this session, we will combine what you have uncovered from the portal together with my diagnosis of what could be missing or misaligned in your Power Trinity, so that then I can design a business strategy that is aligned to the unique you, to your unique soul aligned clients, so that you can have them coming out of the woodwork, putting their hand up to work with you without you chasing or hustling. So if that's something that resonates with you, then I definitely urge you to take action and book that strategy session with me. It is a complimentary, no obligation session with me. You come out definitely clear with more insights and more understanding of yourself. So I have clients who share with me after this strategy alignment session that the assessment or the diagnosis of their Power Trinity, whether it confirms or actually sheds more light on where they may be weak and what to work on, is really helpful. And having a business strategy, because obviously we need something practical to ground these insights, allows them to know the pathway, the step-by-step process on how to make their Power Trinity, of that vortex truly of impact, so that it translates into clients, money, and having your mission and your legacy realized. And this session, usually most people tell me it is a session of collaboration, not so much about me telling you what to do. You are heard, you are understood, and you are honored in this space. So if you would like to experience how you can feel honored, heard, respected, and certainly having a champion in your corner who will argue for your light and your magical purpose work, not your doubts and your fears, then I definitely urge you to take action and schedule that strategy alignment session with me, because you will be able to have a concrete business plan and a strategy on how to move forward to realize your business goals in 2025 this year. So that wraps up part 2 training. Part 2 training today was all about QuantumXing your clients. So I hope you have enjoyed that and you have, received lots of gold nuggets. So after this training video, I would encourage you to go to the Lizzie May the Immortal, the channel text, tune into your guidance, access the divine intelligence with specific questions on what it is that you want to know. Ground them in that workbook. If you would like somebody to share and celebrate with you this amazing insights that you've received, definitely send me an email. I would love to hear them and celebrate them with you. And if you want to take action on those so that they become more than just nice to know, make them into reality so that you can help your clients and be a transformational force out there and lead women and really humanity out of the dark ages, then I definitely urge you to take that step. Now, the next piece after this training is part 3. And part 3 is about QuantumXing, yes, money, right? How do you receive money like a queen? So that's the video where if you know that you are destined for unlimited wealth, it is your birthright, right? To be financially resourced abundantly for your magical purpose work, but you are finding it almost impossible to get paid for what you ask because people have objections, they have to think about it, and all sorts of reasons, then you definitely want to tune into part 3 training, where I go into what the solution is and what you can do about it so that you can receive money like a queen, get paid what you ask in a heartbeat without any convincing or proving. So I look forward to seeing you in part 3. And in the meantime, here's to your power, your wealth, and your joy as the creative, sovereign, and financial power that you are. I'll see you soon.